This is a guide to text girls on Tinder or any other dating apps. My goal is simple, to give you simple examples to copy from so you can ace dates. I'll show you my texts and analyze them for you, and I'll give you powerful tips and insights. I run over 30 active Tinder profiles, so my knowledge in texting is quite literally the best in the dating space. As always, just pay attention, make some notes, because this stuff is going to work. It's worked for average guys that come to me for help, and it's going to work for you and even below average men, okay? So, with this guide, these are the kind of results you should be expecting, just like I do. These are my results. You can get the same things and you could perform just as well, okay? Anyway, now without further ado, Tinder Texting Guide Series 3. I'm going to be showing you my Tinder messages, Tinder profiles that I run for other men, and of course I'm going to be including some extra stuff of insights and what I've learned over time. Anyway, here's the contents for this guide. Messages from my personal Tinder account, messages from the Tinder profiles that I run for other men and get them dates, and by the way, these men are just average guys just like you, so this is going to work for you, okay? I intentionally designed this texting strategy to work for any man and every man out there. Whether you're below average or above average, it's going to work, okay? So let's get started. Texting analysis number 1, how to handle rejection. Example from Max's Tinder profile. So, how do you handle rejection, okay? I'm going to show you that throughout this entire sequence. But starting off, you start with a typical name opener, okay? Good start, but the girl rejects wife opening. So this is the rejection right here. So she says, and I'm not your wife, right? So she's correcting him. She's a bit like an arsehole for that. Not the best start. But a lot of people would fold here and give up, but that's the thing. You're not meant to fold. You're meant to counter it. And to counter it, we just play into line and push forward. Since it's a flirty line, it's not forceful, okay? It comes off as right. Now, obviously, if you get very defensive with a girl and you start trying to, what do you mean you're not my wife? It's going to come off as less attractive, obviously. Now, to be more attractive, you just deal with it, you play forward with it and come off as more flirty. So what I did here is I said, you are now your wifey material, argue already into a relationship. So obviously, this comes off as humorous, flirty, and it works quite well because I'm basically bringing her back into the game, into my frame, which means that she's going to play into my playing field and I control the rules of the game, right? So she's playing to get me now. So she's going to qualify herself. Now, it looks good so far, and honestly, most girls are pretty easy, but this girl is a bit difficult to work with, so this was pretty tough. But if a girl responds, then there is always a chance to secure it. So if she's replying to you and you haven't fully destroyed yourself on the conversation, chances are you still have a chance of going on a date with her. So yeah, don't give up unless it gets to the point where she's very dry. But so far, her replies are decent, okay? So, by the way, this is a bit of a spoiler. We did actually get a result from this one, but I'll continue with how we did it so you can copy it, okay? Anyway, this is where it gets a little bit tough. She plays a defensive game with, I don't know, you tell me, right? So, obviously, I said, yeah, it is my wifey, so where am I spoiling you on a date then, right? So, I'm trying to set the date here. We've progressed a little bit forward, so obviously, I tried to set a date once already. She didn't quite like it, and obviously she rejected the move, but we have to press forward, and then I basically try and word my way in. You'll see how I do that now, okay? So obviously, most guys obviously do give up here, and I don't blame them, but obviously it's a shit test from a girl, it's normal, and this is how we handle it. If you can't handle a shit test, you're not going to get girls, okay? You're going to struggle massively. So what we do is we tell her in vague words that we have a plan that she will like and suggest a holiday together, which is all just fancy garbage, right? To make her more attracted. You're not obviously going to take this girl flyer out. No one's going to do that. Okay? There's no point. There is no reason to that. But you will say that you will because girls are attracted to the idea of it. And if you're giving her that idea, she's going to be attracted to you. Now, she throws in another curveball, which is not ideal, but being the best in the game, we handle it regardless for Max, and we tell him what, obviously, we message for him and do the work for him. So, over here, she says, I don't know you, bro, stranger danger. And then, obviously, we use logic and emotion, a good mix. So, girls are very emotional creatures. So, over here, she's quite logical as well because she goes stranger danger. That's not something girls typically say. Girls are very emotional. But this one, obviously, she has a logic, so we decided to mix it in. So, it was a very different, unique scenario. So, then what I do here from here is continue by saying, that's why we're going to get drinks together to get to know each other. And this is obviously an incentive because I told her that I know a place that she will love for drinks. So not only have I just cleared to the fact that, you know, she's worried about stranger danger, I've also given her an incentive to show up for the date for drinks. And on top of that, it was actually good for us because she thinks that I'm actually going to take her to Spain when I'm not. Well, Max, right? Because we're texting on his account for him. She thinks that I was actually taking to Spain. She couldn't see that I was being flirty with it, right? She's like, oh, stranger danger. Like, obviously, I'm not taking you to Spain. But with this girl saying that, it kind of made my work and life a lot easier. So I was like, logical creature, logical human, right? Pretty easy, straightforward. Girls typically are not logical. It's actually very boring. Anyway, She asks where the actual place is, but obviously we don't tell her because do high status people listen to what low status people tell them to do. So when I told her that we have this bar that she'll love to go to for drinks, she's asking me, oh, where is the actual place for the drinks? Now, obviously, you're not going to tell her because it's a shit test. By telling her, she loses attraction for you because high status people will never tell low status people whatever they ask, right? Like if a low status person, someone you see is below you, tells you to do something, you're not going to listen to them. You're not going to listen to them, right? And obviously it's the same case for girls. You want to make her feel like she's less than you. That's the simple cold truth of it. That's how it should be. Now, obviously, you won't lose attraction. Now, obviously, you won't lose attraction by not telling her, right? A lot of guys are like, oh, but I need to tell her. No, you don't tell her. The whole point of it is that you got to keep the mystery, okay? That is the key to getting this right. Now, what we do here is obviously we just keep the vague terms and we like to keep our words in a mystery, right? We want to keep it in a very imaginative thing. We want her to think about what we're going to do with her, right? So obviously we're going to move away from the conversation and press for the number. So she's very obviously invested now in the idea of the date. She wants to know more. We're not going to give her that because if we do that, it kills the incentive of her actually meeting us. There's just no point to it. So by keeping it mysterious and vague on text, she's more likely to show up and then we just press for the number, okay? So obviously she finally cracks and gives in and we win. And as I always say, it's never open. It's never over with a girl, right? It's never over. Like girls, they will always be around. And any girl you're talking to, you don't give up, okay? Like there's always a chance to get a girl. The only time you should give up is just for your self-respect, okay? Like I can literally, any girl that you're struggling with right now, if you apply these strategies, it'll work. The problem is it just takes too much work, and out of self-respect, you should just literally like drop it because there's too many girls. Like, why would you care about one girl, bro? Like, there's no point. But the point is, we correct through the shit tests and the challenges she set, and we end up getting the number and sorting a day out with her. So yeah, with our help, Max essentially messages her this line, obviously of, what am I saving your contact as? I'm thinking future wifey on WhatsApp. And then I message the girl for him, telling her where the date is, the details, and then boom, she shows up to her date, and that's the end of it, right? That's pretty simple, straightforward. Obviously, after that, what you do on the date, that's the topic in of itself, but obviously we're going to focus on texting here today. So yeah, here's the results for this one. So obviously, this is Max right here, met the girl, took her on a date. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, nothing special. I'll be honest with you, she's not that attractive, but to each to their own, right, guys? Anyways, I'm not going to judge. Anyway. Texting analysis 2, name openings. So this is from Alex. So no matter what the situation is, guys, always open up with their names. A lot of the guys that have come to me and booked calls with me or spoke to me or whatever, right? The guys that I'm helping running their accounts, they always are like, they don't understand that no matter what the girl does or says, you always open with the name. If a girl tries to use a pickup line on you and messages you first, guys, you still send her name. You heart her pickup line and you disregard it. You trash it. The reason behind it is because you want a predictable pattern of success. By replying and playing into her game, you've just lost your advantage of predictability. Because now, whatever she says could have millions of outcomes. But if you use a name opening and use a set predictable texting strategy that I show in my videos, right, it's guaranteed to work. It's guaranteed. Why would you want to use her pickup line and play into her game? By giving her control, you've just lost the one thing you have, which is a predictable strategy. Now you're going to have to think about what the fuck you're going to say to this girl. And now you have to sit there and go, this girl has said this and this and this, and I don't know what to say. And majority of you are not at the skill level to be able to text a girl in unique situation scenarios. You need a predictable strategy / pattern. So whatever I do in these videos and these text messages, just copy that. Don't stray away. Don't try and do new shit. Because frankly, a lot of you, I'm going to tell you the truth, you're not skilled enough. And if you do want to do stray away from the pattern, just be prepared to make mistakes. Because that's how you improve. But if you're looking to just get dates and you don't give a shit about the strategies and improving, then yeah, just copy what I do. Because it fucking works. Anyway, the reason we obviously send the name is because it just works well, okay? It intrigues mystery and it's going to lead to that predictable pattern I'm talking about, which is obviously a date. Because every single conversation will lead to a date if you follow the same thing that just works. Because if something works, don't change it. Just keep doing it, okay? Now, obviously, if I say off topic here and talk about cocktail making, I need to come up with a well thought out reply. So obviously she liked this prompt here from Alex's account, right? We set him some prompts. So unusual skills, cocktail making. She liked it. Now, typically most guys will be like, oh, let's make some cocktails or some shit. No. After that, she's going to reply with something about cocktails and you're not going to know what to say. you're going to be confused. You're going to be lost. And because of that, obviously, you want to have a predictable system that works step by step every single time, and it gets you a date literally around 70 to 60% of the time you're talking to the girls. Okay? It's that simple. Don't stray off topic with a girl. Don't fucking play into a frame. It's that simple, okay? So moving on. If you're not good at texting, it is risky. So yeah, just follow the copy-paste structure as I mentioned. So here's the actual structure you want to follow if you're wondering. Their name to start off with, then a line, and then a follow-up, and then go for a close. That's it. Get a date, secure a number, and that is the ideal pattern, and that's going to work 60, 70, even 80% of the time, okay? That's going to work, and that is the highest success rate. If you're doing that, you're going to be fine. It's that simple. You're going to be on a few dates a week. Seriously. Anyway, texting analysis number 3, Inception of fear. This one comes from my profile. So obviously this is going to be my messages and I'll be showing you that. So what you're seeing here is there's quite a lot of actual information here. Okay, I'll actually walk you through it. So this girl, obviously I incepted fear in her mind. So basically I made her feel, the fear of losing me. And I'll show you how you do that a little bit later on. But basically I'm going to make a few more points. Okay. A lot of you guys are texting girls in a very desperate fashion. Now, obviously, look at this, right? This girl has said, I've got 7 other guys begging for my attention right now, so you need to reply, please. Like, she's begging for reply. Because I'm not replying to her, she's upset. Now, she's got 7 other guys that are practically worshipping her. I want you guys to remember that. There's so many guys probably worshipping, and this girl's a model, that's why she's got that many guys, right? Like, this girl's a very beautiful girl, she's obviously got more attention. But even a 2 out of 10 girl, she has at least 4 or 5 dudes probably consistently begging to be with her. Maybe even like 10 sometimes, okay? It depends how well they put themselves out there. But the point is, girls will always have attention. And when you're the one guy that has played his cards right and is no longer replying, this is the kind of reaction you'll get from girls, okay? They will beg you, practically. They'll start sending you nudes. Like, they'll do anything to get your attention. And when she said this is when it clicked for me, and I was like, holy shit, girls are actually fucked, okay? Like, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I knew this, like, in the back of my mind, but when she said, I've got 7 other guys begging for my attention right now, so you need to fucking reply, please, I was just like, so if I reply, I'll be the 8th guy begging for your attention, right? So obviously, I'm not gonna do that, so I'll show you what I do instead. So what you do here is, you incept the thought of fear, okay? But firstly, before you do that, you need to build up a bit of attachment with her and tease her, okay? So I'm going to show you how it works. What this means is at first, you talk to her, you give her a bit of attention, you act normal with her. You just treat her like how you would with any other girl. Then slowly you pull your attention away from her and make it very clear you're doing it to punish her for her actions. So for example, this girl, I had sex with her a few times, whatever, right? And obviously, I wasn't too happy because she kept asking me to see her. Now obviously, if a girl's not having sex with you, you can punish her with a lack of attention. But for me, in my situation and scenario, I just didn't want to see her. So obviously, I said, for doubting me, we can make space. So she thought I was seeing and fucking other girls. No, I just genuinely didn't have time for her. Like, that's the thing. Like, she even says I was just being jealous. So obviously, she thought I was seeing other girls. But the thing is, I just didn't have time. So what I did here was I took my attention away. And I told her, we're going to make some space. I need some space away from you. I need some, like, obviously time, whatever, right? Fucking break, whatever. Now, she was, like, obviously very upset about that. And she literally just started going crazy, right? She practically, if you do this right, a girl will do anything for you. Seriously. Now, my way of pulling this off is by telling girl I need space, as I mentioned here. And then basically, and I told them why I'm doing it. So basically, I told her because she doubted me. And then, boom, this leads to them panicking. And then, obviously, the fact that I'm leaving scares them, and then it causes a reaction of them doing stupid shit. So here's the full notes of it, basically, of what happened, right, without the notes. So, no, sorry, I'll send whatever you want. I don't care what she sends, because I just wanted time to work towards, my goals. I just didn't have time, because I was seeing her way too often. Like, I get it, she's a model, she's, very beautiful, whatever, but when it comes to your goals as a man, you shouldn't put that over a girl, and a lot of you make that mistakes, right? I mean, it's up to you what you do with your life, but the point is, like, the whole point of this is that if you incept fear and punish a girl, you can get reactions like this, right? So obviously, she said, let's do FaceTime sex instead. Obviously, I'm not going to do that shit because it's just so pointless. Sex in of itself is pointless. FaceTime sex is even fucking worse. So obviously, she's not happy because I'm not having sex with her. I'm not seeing her. And essentially, she wants to do an alternative of FaceTime sex. And I don't want to do that either. I'm trying to fucking work on my goals. So yeah, enough of the story, but you get the point. You just got to incept fear. That's it. So, Texting analysis number 4 after you get a girl's number. So this is from Hassan's Tinder profile. I'll be showing you his messages. So obviously, this is an account message, obviously on WhatsApp. So he's gotten the number. And here's what you do after you get a girl's number. So when you save a girl's contact or get it off of Tinder, the best way to open is with this. You message her, what am I saving your contact as? I'm thinking future wifey. And obviously this is a really good opener because it keeps a good flow of the conversation off of Tinder. And a lot of guys, when they get the contact, they don't know what to say or do. Now this gives you obviously a good opportunity and ballpark to play off. So yeah, when you take a girl off a dating app, it's going to ruin the flow of conversation and reset the flirting you built up with her. So obviously when you're talking to a girl for a very long time on a dating app, you build up a good conversation, sexual talk. As soon as you take it to WhatsApp, it's like that energy dies. Like 2 minutes ago, you were talking about the sex positions, what you're going to do to her in bed. Now all of a sudden on WhatsApp, she's gone cold turkey and the whole fucking mood's been reset. That's normal, and that's why we open up with this. It gives you a good fucking opportunity, okay? So because of this, it's tough to escalate on text after you get the number, basically. Yeah. So using this line opens the door to flirt again and keep the conversation flowing real nice. So obviously, I said that line to her on behalf of Hassan, running his account, right? And then, yeah, there you go. She replies with, Sen is, I don't even know a fucking weird name, right? Fucking Shen, whatever, right? And obviously I said, as I was thinking future wifey, but sure. And then she obviously went, oh, stop you cutie, to Hassan. And she went, you can save that as if you want to. And she said that she saved it with a heart. Good start. And then obviously I said, okay, I'll save it as Sen is, and then Hassan's last name. I'm not going to disclose that, obviously, but yeah. And she was like, aha, are you sure you were going to get married? So obviously this part of the conversation I won't actually... Oh, yeah, I've got it. Okay, there you go. So there you go. So this is the result, and you can actually see the aftermath. So obviously she was like, are you sure we're going to get married? I went for a tease and pull play. I was like, sounds like you don't want to now. So obviously she sent a couple texts in a row qualifying. She was like, oh, no, I only date to marry, not to be all traditional shit. And she was like telling she's drunk, and then obviously we set the date. That's top of herself. That's a completely different texting scenario, but that's the result there. That is the girl, and that is Hassan right there. So yeah, it was pretty cool. The girl was fairly attractive, I must say. It was better than fucking Max, but no shame, right? Anyways, moving on. Texting analysis 5, making a conversation sexual. So this is an example from Brendan's Tinder profile. I'll be showing you what we did here. So obviously, this is a guy that we're running a Tinder account for. He asked me, how do I make conversations with a girl sexual? Well, here's how you actually pull this off. A lot of guys, I don't know why you want to do this, but I'll show you anyways, okay? Because making a conversation sexual is one of my trademarks in game. It's literally the thing that I excel at. It's one of my unique things and trademarks about my texting style. When I text a girl on your behalf on Tinder, I can make the conversation sexual, and I can make it so that it's literally just a fucking pornography fucking scenario, okay? But the problem with that is obviously it's pointless, but I suppose it's fun, so some guys like it. But the thing is, it's like buying a car with pops and bangs. There's no real fun, it's just fun as fuck, right? Like I have like a RS3, M4, all of this shit. Let's be real, you could drive any car in the world and it serves the same purpose. Why do we buy fast cars? Because it's just fun. Texting sexually is just fun. It doesn't lead anywhere. It does help a bit, but it's just pointless. That's the thing. I'd rather just actually meet the girl and have sex, but it is pretty fun to also text sexually, you know, when you just want to mess around. Anyway. It does help with certain scenarios too, but let's actually talk about how we can pull it off, right? Because you guys are more curious about how it works. So obviously, it comes from Brandon's account, one of the guys I'm running the account for. So I'll show you how it works. To start off, I played my cards by displaying sexual competence in my message. I type a long descriptive paragraph of what is sexually appealing to girls. So as you can see here, I'm not going to read that out loud, but basically I just very in-depth describe what I would do to her in the bedroom. And that turned her on, obviously, because of the girl's psychology, right? They read pornography and men watch pornography, right? So yeah, that turned her on, and it actually ended up being appealing to her, and she ended up talking sexually back, which you'll see a little bit later on. So yeah, as I mentioned, girls' sexual desire comes from reading pornography. They read stuff like 50 Shades of Grey, they read a bunch of books of guys and, you know, sex, whatever, right? Well, guys watch it, okay? So by writing that sexual message, you're basically making her watch porn. Girls get turned on by your messages, guys get turned on by photos. It's that simple. When a guy wants to see if a girl's attractive, he's scrolling through her photos and he's getting a hard on. It's that simple. For a girl, she's not going to get wet to your photos. However, she will get wet if you are able to describe to her in a very creative way of what you're going to do to her in the bedroom. Now, this is obviously her talking very sexually, so yeah, this is the sort of reaction she will give if she's done it correctly. So you can read that yourself, obviously. I will not read that out loud because, again, there's just no point. There's just no reason for me to do so. But when she replies like this, the best move is to continue it for a few more messages and close it. So you want to leave it on a high note and not low, okay? Too many sexual messages will give her what she wants, which is an orgasm. Girls seriously do orgasm to the right type of messages. But the problem with that is you've just killed the reason for her to see. By orgasming on text, she no longer needs you. Because the whole point of you going up in person is to make a fucking orgasm in sex. By making an orgasm on text, you've just removed the reason for actually having sex with her. So yeah, if you do too much, she has no reason to meet or date you. Now you have to tease her and reel her in because doing too much just hurts your chances of meeting her. A good rule of thumb is 2 to 4 sexual paragraphs with a girl. Anything beyond that is just going to bore her and it could actually result in you losing the girl. Remember, we hate typing this shit. It takes effort and time, and if we hate it, girls do too. They will get bored of it, and if you keep playing this game too long, they'll just leave you. It's that simple. Because bear in mind, for me, I send these paragraphs on behalf of the guys. I'm emotionally numb to it at this stage of the game, right? Because I've done it for that long. For me, I feel very bored of doing it. Now, for girls, they will send maybe a few paragraphs back and forth and exchange, sexual messages. But even them themselves, they'll get bored of typing out. Because typing this shit out and thinking about it is a lot of effort, seriously. And girls, they aren't going to go on for too long. So you have to do it in 3 to 4 paragraphs, close for the date, and actually do what you said on the messages in person. So it's that easy. Anyway, texting analysis, number 6. Dealing with hints from girls. And this comes from David's Tinder profile. By the way, this is David. He's given us, obviously, permission to show his pictures. So I'm going to show you that up front and clear. What you're about to see is remarkable, okay? This is a remarkable fucking story of David. Anyway, so this scenario actually comes from our man David, as I mentioned. He went through a divorce. So he was going through a divorce with his wife, took half the kids, half of his assets. So what we actually did is we helped David sleep with his ex-wife's sister using this strategy after his divorce to obviously get back at his wife. Now, no incel shit, but at the end of the day, the game is a game, right? Anyways, moving past that. We moved in on his wife's sister, right? By using the name opening to gauge her interest. So obviously his wife divorced him. Now we're talking to his wife's sister. So he's basically going for, since this is his ex-wife, it's not really an affair, but same thing, right? Anyway, she knew David was going through a divorce. The sister did know that David was going through a divorce, but still replied. And she even double texted. And this is where the interest obviously skyrocketed through the roof. So she was sending double texts despite knowing David just divorced her sister. Now, for us, this is obviously really good because the fact she's double texting means she wants David. Now, for us, that's a hint. That's something we got to literally just drop into, right? We just got to fucking play into it. So, obviously, she's dropped in a hint here for David to come fuck her now. Now, normally most guys don't actually catch on to this. But this right here is the ace to get, right? This is the best thing you can get from a girl when you're in a situation like this. I know not a lot of guys are going through divorce, right? But if you were in this situation, this is the best scenario you could ever end up in, okay? So all you have to do is just play it right. And this is what we did. All right, so the hint here is double text, replied to the fact despite knowing David's going for a divorce with her sister. And then obviously David said, not bad, how's yours? And she went, it's good, I'm just wrapping up some things, I'm free. The free and then the emoji face, that right there is just, that is the best thing you could get from a girl in this situation. She's quite literally saying, come over and have sex with me. It's that simple. So obviously, we start off the game with a suggestion saying I could carve some time out for tonight because it basically puts the ball in her park. By doing that, you're not asking for her schedule in a simpy way, and you're also not boxing yourself in with a set date or time. You're basically saying to her, I may have time for you, but you have to tell me what time works for you. So yeah, if we look too excited, obviously, we open up or give our entire schedule, she's going to lose attraction with David, especially him going through a divorce is also quite bad. But the fact the sister wants it, all we have to do is just play our cards right. So to move on the sister, we have to play the relaxed, nonchalant game. We have to act like we don't know she's into us. But obviously, we know that, but we just got to act like it, right? So obviously, she opens up with the ideal reply, inviting him to come over, and even indicates if he's kid-free, since his wife took the kids, right? So obviously, he has visitation with kids, right? Divorce, that stuff, you guys get how that works, right? So obviously, he's not with the kids, obviously, as of this moment, while talking to his wife's sister. And then David takes action on it by saying, yeah, I'm not seeing the kids or whatever, and I could carve some time out for drinks, right? So obviously he's saying I could make some time, and obviously she replies with, I have this family birthday dinner tonight, but possibly after. Are you kid free? And then from there, this is basically the best situation you can have, as I mentioned, but it's still not secured, right? You can still mess up. You can still fuck up big here. Now she's just given a small green light, and all we have to do from here is just secure it. It's that simple, okay? And I'm going to walk you through how you do that. So obviously to close this, we secure it, we must act masculine on text. No gay shit or getting cute with X's or winky faces. We use that shit on Tinder. It's a different game. But obviously this is a little bit different. This is a divorce scenario / affair, right? So obviously it's a little bit different. So obviously we confirm the date by telling her David's calendar is in the clear, in a masculine style and fashion. So obviously We go, yes, Beth, my calendar is clear for tonight. Boom, okay. So now this is where it's great, okay? This is the best part. This is it. She confirms to the meet, and we just wait before the date to text her again. Now I'll show you this on the next slides, but firstly, let me explain the importance of why this works so well for David. It's because I'm texting for him, okay? And this removed his fear of doing something wrong, which meant that I could send more bold messages. A lot of you guys, when you send messages on your own, you're quite afraid to send a message to a girl because you think, oh, it's too risky, or it might not work. But obviously for me, because I've done this for so long and I'm not the one that's obviously going to take the punches if I go wrong, I can send whatever I want. But frankly, unfortunately, because I'm so good at what I do, it doesn't go wrong. My texts never go wrong, seriously. But yeah, enough of boasting of how good I am at this shit. Let's move on. So we confirm the date with the details, obviously. So we just send her the details and that's it. Masculine, stoic, zero risks. Literally, meet me here at 9:15. And then I literally send her the address of the place, right? And boom. She goes, is that a question or a demand? Obviously, I'm going to explain to you what you do there, but firstly, I just want to let you know, just send the girl the fucking time and the day of the actual date, okay? Just send her the address and that's it. Then you're golden. Don't text her anything at all beyond this point. It's just validation. Now, she responded with the typical, is that question demand, as I mentioned, with a 30 emotion, but we're going to ignore it. Now, girls love guys who act demanding and masculine. It's attractive when it's done right. Now, David has to just get on the date and he's in. We gave him some playbooks and power resources, and then we got him this result right here. So obviously this is David. This is what he was like before. Boom, ended up getting with the girl, and it was just a great story. And I was actually quite proud of him, obviously, because from going from being in a depressed situation of being divorced, losing kids, half his assets, he ended up, finding someone new for himself and, learning the art of getting girls. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty good. So yeah, that was a good one. I'm glad that I can show him because he's come very far. Anyway. Texting analysis number 7, the power of prompts. Now this example comes from Alex's Tinder profile, okay? So this is how useful prompts can actually be. So this is going to show you, like quite literally, they're very great, okay? I'll show you now. So this is how you can get girls to quite literally message you first. A lot of you guys, you're too scared to message a girl first, let alone approach them. So this is for you, okay? Girls are relatively lazy and they get stupid amount of messages, so they can't even think of a pickup line. Girls don't know how to text. Now, because of prompts, we can use that to make it easier for them. By using prompts, we're giving them an opportunity to message us first. Now, your Red Pill guru will tell you, screw the bio and prompts. You need to look masculine and not care. But prompts actually do the opposite. It gives the girl an incentive to reply, and the reason girls are scared of messaging first is to not fuck up a prompt, and not fuck up, right? And a prompt encourages them to reply. It gives them room to reply. Girls don't want to message first because if they fuck up or they go wrong, their ego is going to get hurt massively. Like, they're going to get destroyed. For a man, if he gets rejected, you just got to pick yourself up and suck it up, right? For a woman, if you reject a woman on her approach, they will quite literally deep it psychologically on extreme ends. Like, girls will go fucking suicidal over that shit, right? It gets very deep for them. Obviously, because of that, they're never going to message you first. By using a prompt, however, they may message you first because it's like less likely they will end up fucking it up. So yeah, there are various prompts you can use, and the one that I use is getting my hoodie back after you steal it. Now, this one doesn't actually belong to me. I actually learned this from one of the guys I'm running the Tinder account for. I'm running a Tinder account, and he told me, oh yeah, I use prompts. I was like, you use prompts? Which ones do you use? And he just showed me, and then I plugged it into other profiles, and guess what? It worked. Now, however, I did come up with my own prompts based off of this because I saw how powerful they are. And I'm going to give you a list of this on the next slide. But firstly, as you can notice and see, the girl opens up about the hoodie statement very well. So obviously, you can see right here, real paranoid about those hoodies, huh? So pretty good. That's a good opener. But regardless, we still open with a name to keep the flow of conversation. Because if we stray off track here, we may risk ruining the conversation. So unless you can text really well like me, put simply, just text with strategy, okay? Just keep a pattern, emotionless copy paste for the best results. Some prompts for you to steal, by the way. I'm going to give you some. Get my hoodie back after you steal it. So obviously the question would be hidden talent / unusual skills. I go crazy for gym girls or whatever girls you want, alright? Okay, so this is obviously on Tinder. I go crazy for, and you're just going to put whatever type of girl you want. Now, first item on my bucket list, beach in Mallorca with you or any country, right? Greece, Spain, whatever, right? That's just an example, hypothetical. Now, people would describe me as a golden retriever. So obviously this is the people would describe me as golden retriever. Like, if you go on Tinder, it tells you what would people describe you as. You'd put golden retriever because girls like that, and they like the personality type of that. Now, number 5, I can beat you in a game of Mario Kart. Now, obviously girls like retro games like from the Wii, Mario Kart Party, whatever, right? All of these stupid, pointless games that, just they're fun, I suppose, for people. I don't know. Anyway, texting analysis number 8, dealing with insecure girls. Now, this is an example from my Tinder profile, and I'll be walking you through what I did. So all girls that are insecure, and you'll encounter this a lot. However, if you play the game to sleep around, this obviously, if you play the game to sleep around, you're gonna run into this a lot. Yeah, like literally, every girl is insecure. Okay, some girls just hide it better than others. That's the only difference. Every girl is insecure, even your own mom. I'll be honest with you, every girl is fucking insecure. Okay, so if you don't believe me, just remember they chase validation for a reason and fish for attention on apps because they're insecure. They have a bottomless, empty pit void of this desire and need to just crave and chase every man's approval. It's just how it works. It's just nature. Now, regardless, here's how we actually handle them. On this example, Sam asked me how often do I use that line on girls. Little does she know that what I do and how I run accounts, right? But, you know, I use that line fairly often, right? Now, obviously, she's saying how often do I use it because she's worried I'm talking to other girls. Now, I play around her insecurity by stating I only say it to the pretty ones, which suggests I do see other women, but I'm also protecting ego by calling her pretty. However, I'm saying it very indirectly because, you know, I don't want to call her pretty direct. That's just desperate. It doesn't come off right. You want to make it indirect. Now, there you go. Now, obviously, I got a positive reaction from her, got a snap from that alone. Normally, it's not this easy, but with the right pictures and setup, anyone can get results like mine. It's genuinely very easy. Like, I've helped guys that you wouldn't believe. 5'2" Indians. Like, I'm being dead serious. I've helped guys of all ranges, okay? And the worst girls I've dealt with are ones in Northern Ireland. Like, seriously, I've done this for so long that you wouldn't believe, like, the knowledge in the field. But besides from that, that is pretty much it for this texting guide. Texting is a difficult art to master, but if you follow these guides, I seriously promise you, you will get results. Because I intended it to be that way. I spent 10 years studying this, making it possible for any guy to get results. When I say I've helped 5'2" Indian guys, I mean that, seriously. And these strategies, if it works for them, it's going to work for you, okay? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say they're attracting beautiful girls. Sure, they're attracting girls that are kind of ugly, but for a 5'2" Indian guy, that's still pretty good. Even if he's getting like a 0.5 out of 10, that's good. I'm not going to sit here and say he's getting models, but he's still getting girls, which is better than nothing. But that should just show you this shit really works, okay? So if you're ever feeling like you have any doubts, don't. Just do what I do and it's going to work, okay? Now, I started this mission to make dating accessible to all men, and that is why I run over 30 Tinder accounts and message girls for guys so they can get results. Then I post what works so you guys can copy it and get the results yourself. All I'm doing is just posting what works. Seriously, that's all I'm doing. I'm not posting fairies or any armchair garbage. This is what just works, okay? Now, all my goal is just to pass this wisdom in dating onto other men so they can win big in their dating life like me and my team. Now, I want you to be strong and to have a woman that loves you, and I want you to be a student of inner operations, right? So if you listen to other people on the internet, they're not going to give you that. They're going to bullshit you. They're going to fuck you around. They're just going to tell you terrible advice that doesn't work, okay? So I'm truly hoping this has served you because that's my intentions with these videos, okay? So I hope this works out for you, my brother, because that's all I care about. As always, my aim with these guys is to pour as much value as humanly possible so you can become uber successful in dating beautiful women. My ultimate goal is to positively impact the dating world for men so they can enjoy dating once again. And I'll do this one man at a time, no matter what it takes.